Hi there and welcome to Hayley Roberts Art. I've got some cold pressed watercolour paper that I've taped down with some masking tape, and I've got a pencil and a ruler, and I'm going to do a lovely little Valentine card front. So I'm just going to measure out. I just want to grid this up into 3 sections at the top and then 4 sections coming down, and we're going to paint some lovely little watercolour hearts in these sections. The reason for the gridding up is to make sure that there's sort of roughly equal space between these hearts and they're all about the same size. I'm using Milan watercolours today and a smallish brush. Just practicing with my brush, and now I've grabbed some colour and just painting in the first heart. So I'm just being careful around the edges and colouring it in until the heart is full of colour. When I've finished that colouring in, I'm going and grabbing a complementary colour to that pinky red underneath. So just popping this purple on top and just letting it sort of disperse, so it's sort of granulating over the surface there. Moving on to the second heart, and it's just about thinking about layering different layers of paint in a different way to how you did it previously. So on this particular one, I'm using 2 different shades. It's sort of reddy brown on the one side and this yellow on the right hand side of the heart. Letting the colours mix, because this is part of the charm of this particular picture. Moving on to the third heart, I've picked up this lovely zingy kind of orange. I'm going to fill it with colour, and then while the heart is still wet, I'm going to grab a complementary colour, a sort of purpley red, and then add little dots, and that colour then just disperses on that orange surface. So for the next heart, I've grabbed this lovely red colour and I've done a dark red on the outside, and then picking up this paler pink for a heart shape next to that darker red, and then grabbing that darker red for a centre dark red heart. For the 5th colour, I've gone for a more sombre kind of colour. I've got a sort of yellow ochre and just filling in that heart with that particular colour. And then to make it pop a little bit, I've got that lovely purple, and this purple really disperses really well on top of your wet paint layer, and then just outlining that. For the 6th heart, going with a lovely delicate lilac, filling that in and making sure that's all done. And then just to zing that up, I'm going for that purple again. And you can see that dispersing up towards the top of your heart there. For the 7th heart, we're going for a nice tangy orange on the one half of the heart, and then going for a lovely subtle pink on the other side. Filling all that in and then looking at it and just going around the edge of that orange, and then adding some of that zingy purple. For the 8th heart, going for this black cherry kind of colour, very dark when you layer on top. You can see here, it's just the dark heart of this picture. Layering up just to give that darkness in that bottom half of the heart and just outlining it. Now to counteract that darkness, I've gone for this very, very pretty red colour. So just filling that heart in with this lovely colour. Heart number 10's got a lovely pink base to it. And then just filling it in, and then while it's still wet, I'm grabbing some other paint, some darker red, and then just dotting that over the top. Number 11, going for a browny red kind of colour, and then complementing it with this turquoise blue. So letting the colours mix in the middle there. So on number 12 heart, the last but not least, I'm giving that purple its own little heart, filling it in, and then just grabbing some red and adding some depth of colour to the bottom of that. I've got some lovely paint pens here in lovely, gorgeous colours, and just going to doodle over the top of these just to give them a little bit of interest. So you're looking to use very similar colours to the paint colours that you've used underneath, swapping around the colours so the lighter colours go on the darker paint underneath and the darker colours go on the light colours. So you just need to think about that when you're planning it out. You may not want to plan it out. You may just think, no, I'm just going to go with the flow and see what happens. And that's great too. Just do what you think is good for you. We're all different, but that's great. You may want to copy the patterns that I've got here, or you may have some ideas of patterns that you want to do, some of your favourites. You might want to put those on here. So I think this would be really good as a frontage for a Valentine's card. Either you could do like little mini cards and cut this up, or you could have the whole thing and put that as a frontage on one of your cards and send it to a loved one. Wouldn't that be lovely? So you can see how really easy this is to do. It's really therapeutic as well. You get really into the moment, just trying to think ahead, what am I going to put on the next heart, and just playing with the colour a little bit, seeing what works, what doesn't. So on the last two, I've just put little borders, and then on this particular heart, I'm just outlining the edges. So you may come to the end of your page and you may think, oh, I need to add some more, and that's fine. Just keep doodling until you're happy. I particularly like heart number 6. I love the patterns on that. I think it's got an Art Deco feel to it. And on number 7, I love the way the yellow pen zings against that purple. I think that's worked really well. Let me know in the comments which is your favourite. I really would love to hear. So I hope you like this, and if you like this, maybe you'll consider liking and subscribing, or maybe you'll leave me a comment. Let me know how you get on, whether you're going to try this, how it worked for you. Did you find the gridding okay? Was that all right? Or did you go plain ahead without doing any gridding? Let me know in the comments. I would love to hear how you got on. So I've got an eraser and I'm just removing all of those marks now. Just making sure there's no trace of that pencil. And then just wiping that down there. And then I've got one of the paint pens and I'm just outlining just because I love borders and just going round. So I'm bringing the picture up to the camera so you can see the lovely detail there. And I think it's turned out rather well. I don't know, what do you think? Do you think it's something you're going to try? Will you give it a go? I hope so, because it's really, really easy to do and really enjoyable. Okay, well, thanks for spending the time with me, and I hope to see you again soon. Hope you have a great week. Okay then, bye.